Hello, American Patriots. Ducote here. Today's video is about the billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, who is now thankfully behind bars. But before I get into that, I want you to know that I just did a video about Rashid Tlaib, Congresswoman, that you can only see over at my website, DouglasDucote.com, because there's no way it would be allowed here in this platform. So if you haven't already done so, please go over to DouglasDucote.com to see what you can't see on YouTube or Facebook or Twitter, for that matter, because they won't allow it. So let's get right into this. This guy, billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, he's been accused of some very horrible things when it comes to underage girls. I'm going to read to you something that is being said right now by a Democrat National Committee official and also the daughter of Nancy Pelosi. Her name is Christine Pelosi. And it's very, very interesting. What's interesting about it is she sees the writing on the wall that a lot of people have seen for a long time when it comes to this guy. And she also, because of her position in government and in the district attorney's office, she realizes what's about to happen with this case. And it's going to explode. So let me read something to you real quick. Something that that was put out today. Christine Pelosi, a Democrat National Committee official and daughter of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, warned on Saturday evening that it is quite likely that some of our favorites are implicated in the horrific sex trafficking case against Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein is due in court following his sudden arrest on Saturday in New York on new sex trafficking charges involving allegations dating back to the 2000s, according to law enforcement officials. He has been accused of paying underage girls for massages and favors, abusing them at his mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, and in New York City, and his 72-acre private estate, Virgin Island, a home said to be nicknamed Orgy Island, also has been under scrutiny. So this guy, who's a billionaire, has his own island. And on that island is his fantasy world with underage girls. Then he owned a Boeing 727 passenger jet that was nicknamed the Lolita Express because of the underage girls that were on board it, as they would take wealthy businessmen that were into that kind of stuff from all different places of the world and fly them to his island. The Epstein case is horrific, and the young women deserve justice, Pelosi tweeted. It is quite likely that some of our favorites are implicated, but we must follow the facts and let the chips fall where they may, whether Republican or Democrat. Now, what is she talking about? What does she mean some of our favorites may be implicated? Bill Clinton, remember him? Former president of the United States, and what all happened in the Oval Office and so forth. And all the women that came forward accusing him of sexual misconduct. The flight records that the feds were able to obtain of this private jet shows Bill Clinton not once, not twice, but 22 times being escorted on that jet to this private island. And in a few of the cases, he ditched his Secret Service detail. And for a period of time, they didn't know where he was at. All that's coming to light. When this guy was originally arrested and charged, well, let me continue reading here for a second before I go diving into that so that you understand and be able to follow along if you haven't already read this case. It was unclear exactly to whom Pelosi was referring, but Epstein has long been connected with high-profile figures, including Britain's Prince Andrew and former President Bill Clinton. Court documents obtained in 2016 showed that Clinton took at least 26 trips, not 22, 26 trips flying aboard Epstein's private jet known as the Lolita Express, and apparently ditched the Secret Service detail on some of the excursions. Records show that President Trump may have flown on the jet at least once. Now, the president previously called attention to Clinton's dealings with this guy when he said, "Nice guy, got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein," Trump told Fox News' Sean Hannity in 2015, referring to Clinton's connection with him as a lot of problems. So here we have President Trump, when talking about this guy, acknowledging that even he knows that this guy is a bad apple. But meanwhile, Trump's biographer, Tim O'Brien, just this week reposted an excerpt from a 2002 profile in New York Magazine in which Trump told the reporter, "I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side." Now, that's what President Trump said in this interview. What does that mean? Does that mean he agrees with this guy? Does it mean that that he doesn't see him as a horrible person that has committed some horrible crimes? No, it doesn't. I've been friends with people that I thought were really great people that turned out to be horrible people. So I'm not pointing any fingers at the moment at President Trump. However, Trump's legal team more recently has denied that the two were friends. Okay, so the legal team's saying they were never friends, but we have Trump saying he's known him for 15 years and he's a great guy. We know that Trump banned Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago estate because Epstein sexually assaulted an underage girl at the club, according to court documents filed by Bradley Edwards, the lawyer who has represented several of Epstein's accusers. The claim has not been confirmed by Trump or Mar-a-Lago. So that's out there, and a lot of people are reporting it and saying, "Oh, look, Trump barred this guy from coming there because of what he did to this underage girl in one of the clubs." What's the underage girl doing in the club, number one? And number two, if that did happen, why aren't they saying it? Why isn't the Trump administration or Mar-a-Lago saying whether it's true or not true? A lot of people want to know, why I don't jump into some stories right away. And I don't do it because I don't have enough facts to give you a true picture. And earlier today in my community section, I posted a photograph of Trump and this sexual predator, and a lot of people were upset about that. Not that I was implementing Trump, but just saying that these court documents from this guy's arrest the last time are about to be unsealed. The judge has ordered them unsealed. And a lot of people are going to be implemented. A lot of people in high-ranking positions with a lot of money were in this guy's circle. Where this goes, I don't know. Tomorrow morning, Monday, the Democrats are going to be all over this shit. They're not going to be focusing on Bill Clinton. They're going to be focusing on Trump's own words for this New York Magazine article. And if you don't think that's true, well, you haven't been watching CNN or MSNBC in a while. Because they want anything possible to try and take this man down. And I do believe that's what they're going to try and do. Do I believe that President Trump at any time engaged in this type behavior or approved of it? Hell no, I don't. Do I know for a fact? No, I don't. I wasn't there. Neither were you or any of us. Only the people that were there know. And these court documents that are about to be released, or not released, are about to be unsealed, are going to expose who these players were. And that's what Pelosi was talking about when she says one of our favorites is going to be tied up in this and we're just going to have to deal with it. She's talking about Bill Clinton. The Miami Herald investigative reporter Julie K. Brown said following Epstein's arrest that Trump and Epstein went to dinner parties at each other's houses. Trump was also on his plane. Probably not as much as a lot of people because, Trump had his own plane. True. Epstein was being held at Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan, according to Federal Bureau of Prisons website. The wealthy hedge fund manager is slated to appear Monday in Manhattan federal court. Epstein's arrest, first reported in the Daily Beast, came amid renewed scrutiny of the once-secret 2008 plea deal that ended the federal investigation against him. Now, you might be asking, how is that possible? If you've got all this, the jet, the underage girls, the island, the underage girls, the people coming forward, the underage girls and their families, the defense would wipe this under the table and do a plea deal. He ultimately served 13 months in jail and registered as a sex offender after pleading guilty to 2 lesser state prostitution charges, and one involving a girl whom prosecutors called a prostitute, even though she was only 14 years old. Epstein had faced a possible life sentence prior to that plea deal, which has been challenged in Florida federal court. The deal also required he reach financial settlements with dozens of his once teenage victims and registered sex offender. Epstein's deal was overseen by former Miami U.S. Attorney Alexandria Acosta, who is now Trump's labor secretary. Acosta has defended the plea deal as appropriate under the circumstances, though the White House said in February that it was looking into the handling of the agreement. Okay, that was in February. March, April, May, June, July. How many months does it take to go, this guy Acosta needs to hit the freaking door? I don't know. He's still working there. Still has his job. The matter has been publicly addressed previously, including during confirmation hearings. A Labor Department spokesman has said the U.S. Attorney's Office of the Southern District of Florida has defended the actions in the case across 3 administrations. U.S. District Judge Kenneth Marr of Florida ruled earlier this year that Epstein's victims should have been consulted under federal law about the deal, and he was weighed in rather to invalidate the non-prosecution agreement, or NPA, that protected Epstein from federal charges. Why is the federal government protecting this pedophile? Other than there are bigger fish involved here that he will take down as well. Think about it. It was not immediately clear whether the case involved the same accusers, since nearly all have remained anonymous. Federal prosecutors recently filed court papers in Florida case containing Epstein's deal must stand. The past cannot be undone. The government committed itself to the NPA, and the parties have not disputed that Epstein complied with its provisions, prosecutors wrote in the filing. They acknowledged, however, that the failure to consult accusers fell short of the government's decision to serve the victims to the best of its ability, and that prosecutors should have communicated with the victims in a straightforward and transparent way. No shit. The accusers in the Florida case have until Monday to respond to the Justice Department's filings. Investigators said at least 40 underage girls were brought into Epstein's Palm Beach mansion for what turned into sexual encounters after fixers looked for suitable girls locally and in Eastern Europe and other parts of the world, according to the documents. In addition, some girls allegedly were brought to Epstein's home in New York City, New Mexico, and the private Caribbean island, according to court documents. Saturday's arrest also came just days after federal prosecutors in New York ordered the unsealing of nearly 2,000 pages of records in a scent-sealed defamation case involving Epstein. Now, that's what I was talking about. They sealed those records for a reason, people. They made this deal for a reason, because they did not want big players in the government to go down and be embarrassed. This monster received a soft sentence last time, and his victims deserve nothing less than justice. Justice doesn't depend on the size of your bank account. Well, I beg to differ with you, because Hillary Clinton is still walking free. Jeffrey Epstein has been walking free for 19 plus years after it was known what he did and pleaded to it. And then the government goes and seals this court documents up to where nobody can see who all the other players are. Do I believe that President Trump was involved with this shit? No, I do not. We will find out when the documents get unsealed. Do I believe that former President Bill Clinton was involved with this and is going to be mentioned in these documents? Yes, that's pretty much a no-brainer. You don't go to this guy's private island that's known for this underage, horrible, despicable sex trafficking situation 26 times and not know that something's up. Don't buy it for 1 second. Who else will be implemented in this? I don't know. Neither do you. None of us know. There are a lot of things that I wish I knew before I started doing this report. But I felt that at a minimum, I owed it to you, my viewers, to hear just the basics behind what's about to explode. And yes, our president's name is mentioned in here of his own doings for talking about what a great guy this was for 15 years that he's known him. Does it mean he knew about all this? I don't know. He actually says in the New Yorker magazine that he did. He knew that Epstein liked younger girls. What does that mean? Does it mean 18, 19, 20-year-olds? Does it mean 13, 14-year-olds? I don't know. Only Trump knows what he meant by that comment. I then take you back to what I said earlier. I personally was good friends with a person in Baton Rouge. He's dead now. He committed suicide when it was exposed that he actually was a horrible person that did some horrible things to children. I had no clue. Of course, I'd never been to his house. He'd never been to my house. We were acquaintances because he was in the news business, and I was up and coming with my nonprofit, and he wanted to cover that. So that was our connection. But I thought he was a really super guy. And we did speaking engagements together with veterans events and so forth. And it turned out that he was not the kind of person that I or you would want to be a part of. So I do believe that's the same situation we're seeing here, where President Trump's name keeps coming up into this. But be prepared starting tomorrow for the Democrats to be all over this shit. Because everything they can grasp, anything they can possibly get their hands on, that's in any way, shape, or form negative to Trump, they're going to grab it and they're going to run with it and they're going to throw it at the wall as hard, as fast as they can, hoping something sticks. But when the court documents are unsealed, we will know the truth. And in the meantime, William Barr, hopefully, and I do believe in my heart of hearts, is on the right track to bring down a lot of deep state players from the FBI, the CIA, the Department of Justice, and Hillary Rodham Clinton. And this way might bring down her husband. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers, first responders, our Blue and Gold Star families, our president, our country. If you haven't already done so, please go to DouglasDucote.com and sign up. Thank you. Hope you all have a wonderful and blessed evening. I'm out.